Beautiful, and welcome to everyone who is watching our recording, our playback. And today we're going to be doing a great little zoom around a few different kitchens and talking about date night and how we can save money. I reckon a lot of people are wanting to save money right now. I'm just letting Shelley in. Jen, just noticed she's there. There we go. And so what we're going to do is have a look at a menu that you might want to do on your date night, and I'll go through what that is in a moment. First of all, I'd love to introduce our team. So my name's Jessica Fabian. I'm the team leader of the Flying Flamingos, and we have with us tonight presenting, we have just one moment. We have a lovely Beck. We're going to fly over to you, Beck, and say hello. Beck is going to be doing a couple of things. Do you want to tell us, Beck?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a cocktail. So it's blackberry vodka daiquiri, which I haven't tried before. The frozen cocktails in the Thermomix are really, really easy to do and always really yummy. And then I'm going to do like a potato bake, and then Lala's lemon butter chicken. And I'm doing them both as a bake. So I'm actually cooking tomorrow night's dinner tonight. As in I'll just prep it and then I'll throw it in the oven tomorrow to make tomorrow night's dinner really, really easy.
And that's the beauty of our class tonight. We are focusing a bit more on the prep ahead and saving time, because who wants to be cooking too much on date night, hey? So thank you very much, Beck, for showing us some of those tips on how to prep ahead. Because tonight we will look at some fancy dishes as well, but we're focusing on easy date night food. So I'm going to jump over to you, Karen, next, and you can tell us what you're going to show us.
Thanks, Jess. Hi, everyone. I'm going to be making chocolate-covered strawberries and hot cocoa for two. So that's my little plan for tonight.
Beautiful. That is going to be amazing. Those strawberries are going to be delicious. I can't wait to see those. Are you going to show us? Yeah, you can show us. Oh, the fresh strawberries.
Yeah. Strawberries. Local strawberries.
Beautiful. Now, I think we have one flamingo who's having some technical difficulties, so she'll be coming back into our class in just a moment, and we will say hello to her in just a moment. She has some beautiful red hearts set up in her kitchen, which is just resetting up, I can see. So, no, you've done well. You got kicked out of the class and you're back in again. Hi, Jamie. What are you going to be doing for us tonight?
Hello, I'm making the delicious chocolate lava cakes.
Oh, and have you made those before?
Yes, I have. They're really good.
Many times, I'm sure, like me. They become a bit addictive, don't they?
They're good, especially when you've got people over. A good surprise. Oh, wow.
Yes. Yep. And I can't wait to hear your tips as well on how to, make them a little bit ahead of time so that you're not just cooking on date night. So we'll see more about that a little bit later on. So thank you. And myself, I'm going to be doing a really quick and easy salad, and I will be showing the cutter as well, which is a new attachment. So we'll talk more about that a bit later on in the class, and I'll show you how to do a really quick and easy salad that will freshen up our menu tonight, because we've got a full menu with drinks and mains, desserts, and some entrees. So we'll show you how the salad will fit in as well to freshen up our beautiful date night. We fly over, and I reckon it's time for a cocktail first, don't you think, when you're having date night? Or a mocktail. So if you don't want alcohol, Beck will, I'm sure, have some ideas on what to do for a mocktail version too.
Yeah. So always start dinner with a cocktail, because then if dinner's terrible, then people are too drunk to notice. But dinner's always good in the Thermomix, so you don't have to worry. As I said, the Thermomix does some amazing frozen cocktails. I absolutely love how you can pop, instead of having your classic shaker cocktail, you don't have to spend heaps of money on a machine. at parties to make frozen cocktails. You can just use your Thermomix. So this one tells us to start by garnishing. Pretty much everything does. I have this awesome little device here, which you can probably just see, that has all of your different little stations on it. It's probably the best $15 I've ever spent. But you just grab out some plates, pop some lime juice or some water, and put it in a rim around the glass, and then pop it in some sugar. You can get creative as you like with this. I made some coloured sugar for a party a few weeks ago, which is really cute. So just whack some sugar around the edge. And then continue with your cocktail. So this says to pop 150 to 200 grams of sugar in. I'm only using 100 because I like my cocktails to be a little bit tart rather than sweet. And then you put the zest in. I'm not sure if you've ever seen before, but the best way to get the zest so it's nice and dry is to peel it off a little bit earlier in the day and then wrap it into some paper towel. So I always do that a little bit earlier. It smells really, really good. You can throw this paper towel into your vacuum cleaner or into the dryer to help deodorize your washing if you want to use it. That smells really nice. So go on. So pop your lid on. You just want to grind up the sugar and your lemon zest together.
Love to hear everyone's favourite juice or cocktail that you would love to make in your Thermomix, or if you've made one before.
I always have a kid and a dog in the background. They always show up. All right, so then as for for this recipe, you have to freeze your fruit ahead of time. So I've frozen 2 punnets of blackberries. At the moment, they're only $2 a punnet, so they're really cheap. And also, I've got it in there as well. I've also got the frozen blueberries in the same bowl, so I'm just going to pop them both in together. Now, you also need to add 3 lemons peeled. So this is just the flesh from the lemons to make it nice and lemony. This is probably why I wanted all the sugar. And it also wants 100 grams of water and 200 grams of ice. So I've just mixed them together to make life a little bit easier. So the ice and the barley and 200 grams of vodka. So what Jess was saying before is all of your cocktails you can turn into a mocktail by, say, adding some juice instead. So you'd probably play around with the flavour a little bit, maybe add some orange juice or maybe some cranberry juice would be nice in here. Raspberry cordial maybe. Oops. In the end, that tiny bit over. You could probably also go down on the vodka, add some extra water or add some juice as well as vodka if you don't want as much alcohol in there. So then you mix this one up.
Another mocktail version I've seen in some of the recipes is things like ginger ale, but of course it wouldn't go with this particular recipe. But yeah, you could play around with like lemonade and things like that as well, I suppose. Soda water.
I'm making a cocktail. So while you're waiting, I'm just making a little garnish on the edge. And there we have it. We have a nice, very dark, kind of cherry coloured, beautiful cocktail. So one of the ways that I stop from making a mess, because I'm messy, normally don't put the garnish on the top yet. Usually just pop this on top and use it as a little funnel to stop from getting your cocktail everywhere. And there you have it. Yummy daiquiri.
That's huge.
It is huge. I went a little bit fancy. So what I probably do with the rest of it, because it's pretty much a jug for one tonight, I would try and freeze it. I have a feeling that with the amount of vodka that it's not going to freeze solid if you're using the exact recipe. You could probably tone down the vodka and turn it into a little icy cold. In this case, you'd probably freeze it in cups and it'd be more like a slushy, like when you should be able to stir it.
Beautiful. Oh, the color looks amazing. And so you mentioned that the berries are pretty good value at the moment.
Yeah, so all the berries are in season at the moment, and blackberries in particular were only $2 a punnet. So it's a great time to grab some and freeze them and put them in the freezer for the rest of the year.
Awesome tip. Thank you, Beck, and enjoy that jug of cocktail to yourself. Is it good?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Oh,
pretty
yum.
easy to drink. Taking my jug now.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Now, I reckon, Karen, we're over to you, aren't we? Going to do some strawberries. Isn't that a good idea to have strawberries as little nibbles as we start our date night after the cocktail?
We're just going to melt some chocolate in the Thermi. So I've already, it's asking line some baking sheets, but I've actually used the Thermomix mats to save, and then we've washed, and it's asking to save on baking paper. Just going to put, and this recipe is in ounces, it's not in grams, so the Thermomix is very clever, it can convert it for us. So it's asking for 11 ounces. I did cheat, and 11.1. There we go, an extra one. And then 1 ounce of cocoa. Maybe a little bit loud with that chocolate going in. So it's going for 2 minutes now, Jess.
Lovely. And we're going to have a little look over at Cookie Dough and have a look at the recipe that Karen's doing. So just going to bring that up. And unfortunately, I think I've lost Cookie Dough. Just one moment, guys. Bring that up again. Has anyone done melted chocolate before in the Thermomix, or maybe made chocolate from scratch, like raw chocolate? We can also make in the Thermomix, can't we? Oh, Amy's in the waiting room. I'll let Amy in. All right, and we'll share our screen. I think I've got Cookie Dough ready now. Let's have a go. There we go. So now Karen mentioned hers is in ounces right now. So let's have a look at the recipe that Karen's looking at. So here's our menu. So we've just seen the blackberry vodka daiquiri. Thank you, Beck. We flew over to Beck's kitchen, and now we're seeing this chocolate covered strawberries and hot cocoa. And you can see it's got 5-star rating by, more than 20 people. So it must be good. And this is from America. So let's just scroll down. We'll have a look. So it was in Valentine's Romance collection from America. And your Thermomix will change over to ounces. It's so you don't have to convert. The scales will just change over. So that's super handy. And I think Karen's not using vegetable shortening. So she'll tell us about that. I'm going to stop sharing, and we're back to Karen. Is that melted? Has that done what it was going to do, Karen?
Seconds left now. So I had to Google vegetable shortening because I wasn't quite sure what it was. And turns out it's cocoa in Australia. So just melting at 120 degrees. So not quite there, but we'll just put it on the next. And it's
now 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So I wonder that would be a lot less in degrees over here, and our Thermomix can heat at the perfect temperature for chocolate. So we're going to get a great result. Who knows how much that is in Celsius?
4 minutes now, Jess.
4 minutes. So you're melting still?
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Alrighty. Well, what we might do is I'm just going to have a look if Jamie's ready or Beck. Just a second. Jamie's going to do last because your desserts. Beck, we've got 4 minutes. We'll go over to Beck. Yep. Perfect. Let's have a look. So I can see Beck's got the cutter for us.
I am going to do potatoes. What were these ones called? I forget. Jess picked those. Oh, went out. Be like me and accidentally exit the recipe.
I call them dauphinoise, but I think it's not quite that.
So, anyone who knows how to pronounce it, let us know. We'll put the link in. It's basically a fancy potato bake or potato gratin, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to start. This is probably the reason I wanted the cutter the most, was I desperately wanted to be able to slice potatoes because over the last few years I've got sick of doing it myself and I'm really lazy. So I'm just going to be quickly slicing my kilo of potatoes. So, and I don't know how to get to the modes today. The recipe asks for 1,200 grams of potatoes. So I'm going to be using a kilo, the whole bag of baby potatoes. And then I'm going to put in 200 grams of bacon as well, because that's how our family likes it and it's not in the recipe. So I love that you can pretty much just do what you want and add in things the way that you like it rather than just following the recipes exactly how they are. So I'm going to quickly slice these. I don't know what this sounds like on these, so sorry if it makes a little bit of noise. But we're going to slice these thick. So I've already popped in the cutting blade on slice, hopefully. We're going to find out if we get grated potato. Have you done that yet, Jess? Wrong way?
No, but I have forgotten to put the shaft in and then nothing's happening. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll just double check.
Okay. Now, for those
double check. Otherwise, I'm making potato cakes.
Let's have a
So
look.
nice and tight.
Yay.
Beautiful.
I have checked myself before. I've second guessed myself for sure.
Better be safe than sorry.
Beck, that's right. Now, Beck, would you like to tell us a little bit how people could get a cutter and also what the cutter is and what models it's suitable for, please?
So the cutter is for the TM5 and the TM6. And it's currently a host award. If you host a demo or if you come onto one of our lives. Got one more to go. Yeah, all done. So you can earn it as a host at the moment, either in person or online demos or by joining one of these events with us until the end of the month. Is that right? The 28th of Feb?
Yep, perfect.
There we go. So that's done. Got one tiny little bit of potato stuck. That's my kilo of potatoes all ready to go. I did actually want to cut an onion too. So let's bear witness. Let's cut our onion. Sorry, into a bowl that I forgot to prepare earlier. So I'm gonna pop our kilo. So that used to take me a very long time to hand cut. So I'm very, very happy with the cutter. Makes my life very easy. So I'm going to pop him back in and make sure that our blade is facing the correct way again. So great on that side. Put him back in. I've got some onions. So with the onions, it makes it nice and easy. This recipe asks us to slice the onions, the one that I normally use. So we've got to pop these into the feeder and just carefully pop them in the right way. I think it's really the only time that you have to be a little bit pedantic with the cutter if you want it to slice them the right way. And pop that one on thick. And I'm just going to stop it. It's funny, but it's really good. It stops and starts pretty quick. Just gotta stand him up.
And it's great how you're adapting and you're using a recipe that didn't used to use the cutter, but you're just saying, you know what, this is going to save me time. I'm going to get my cutter out and chop my potatoes and my onion. Have you tried it with mushroom through it?
I have. I've done thin and thick mushroom and tomato. Tomato worked really well the other day. Just got to make sure it's nice and
Awesome.
firm. There we go. So that's our onion done. So that's sliced it all up for the recipe. So now what we do is you've got to be really careful to make sure you take this out, the shaft.
Yes. If anyone who's getting a cutter anytime soon, make sure you take that shaft out. Otherwise, you'll chop it up then if you're going to mill some almonds.
Like a butterfly, you've got to remember to take it out. The recipes during the guided cooking do tell you to take it out. So that's good. They actually tell you. So this is to preheat. As I said, what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to make some of the recipe. I'm actually not going to bake it. I'm going to par cook it and then pop it in the fridge. And grab a lot of my stuff. So this recipe pretty much asks for some garlic. So we're going to chop that like we always do. As I said, make sure your shaft's not in there. Double check.
So this is a great prep ahead dish, isn't it, Beck? That's why you've chosen this one, so you don't have to do anything tomorrow night.
No, I was thinking I might make the lava cakes that Jamie's making. I haven't done them before. We've got a whole family date night, so.
Yes, I might make the vodka daiquiris then. We can all have the same thing tomorrow.
I know, yeah, we're all having the same menu. Just don't tell anyone where we got it from. It was totally our own ideas. So just popping, pretty much the rest of the recipes, you just pop everything in there. And it mixes it all together. And what happens with this one, the reason this works really well is it's a lot faster than just cooking it in the oven. So you pop all your ingredients into the bowl. It's going to cook the potatoes. As long as you don't cook it too long, the potatoes stay in the shape, which is pretty cool. You pretty much, yeah, just throw it all in. The only addition I do to this recipe is I add some stock. So everybody always raves about my potato bake everywhere we go, and it kills my mom because she always had the best potato bake. But over time, my Thermomix potato bake has taken the lead in the family favorite potato bake. Simply because I add stock. Stock adds so much flavor for such a little thing.
I love that. I love that you're winning.
Yeah, so as I said, this is pretty boring. All I'm going to do from here on in is just adding some cream. So I think I forgot to get it out. I use half normal cream and half sour cream, just because it adds a little bit of additional flavor. You add in some salt, add in some pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg if you like it. If you don't like it, just leave it out. But I find that little pinch just kind of adds some extra flavor. And then cook it in here. I usually just like mix the ingredients together and then put the whole thing in the fridge. But you can pretty much par cook it, then pop it in the fridge. And then tomorrow or whenever you're going to use it within the next few days, grab it back out, pop it in the oven about 10 minutes until the end of the cook time. When it's hot, pop some cheese on top. We just use like a pizza mix, like mozzarella mix, and then bake that until it's golden, and then serve it up. It's perfect.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. And I love that. If anyone hasn't done the potatoes cooked in the bowl, give it a go. They actually surprise you and they come out whole, because of the cream looks after them. So give that one a go if you haven't made it. Great prep ahead one. Thank you so much, Beck. We will jump over to see the chocolate. I forgot the chocolate was melting. And we'll come back to you, Beck, in a moment to see the other part of your main that you're making. Sorry, Karen. Your chocolate's melted by now, isn't it?
It has. It's I won't tip it too much,
yeah,
but it's melted beautifully. So I've tipped half into a bowl and the other half is in the Thermi, keeping warm, and that'll be for my hot chocolate for tonight.
Oh, so that's a great tip. So we could keep it in the Thermomix because then you can reheat it if it starts to cool down a bit much. You can sort of reheat it easily, can't you?
You can. So I'm doing some, I just, on turbo, just put some almonds, blanched almonds into the Thermi. And I'm doing some with almonds on top.
Yes.
So I've done a couple of those. And another tip I found that if you wash the strawberries and dry them really well, the chocolate seems to stick much better.
Oh, thank you. That's a great tip, and that would make sense because often water is known to seize chocolate, isn't it? So nice dry bowl. Yeah, that's a great tip to remember. I will keep that in mind because I can't remember dipping chocolate strawberries for a while. So that's awesome. Any other tips you've learned because you've been doing a bit of dipping over the weekend?
I did try some raspberries that I did yesterday just to try them out. My stalks are breaking. And I'm going to give marshmallows and pretzels a go as well with my extra.
Lovely. Oh, that sounds great. And
you're where they're going to love me tomorrow.
What perfect timing. You can bring in like a Valentine's snack platter, like gourmet platter for everyone. That's right. Lovely. And what are you, so you're dipping and then you're dipping in the almonds and then you're putting it on a tray. Is that right? On the rose gold tray, just for the chocolate to drip through. Yeah. So you can see that. Okay. Can you, Jess? Maybe bring the tray close to us for a moment and then we'll let you keep dipping the other things. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, yep. So you've got the rack and beautiful. And the mat underneath so that when I wash it, I'll just reuse it and it saves on your baking paper. That's true. And make sure you don't wash the chocolate off. You can eat it off. I will. When it's gone hard, I will. Awesome. Thank you very much. So that was easy to melt the chocolate. So if anyone hasn't had a go at melting chocolate in the Thermomix, give it a go. Awesome. And don't let that leftover chocolate set hard, else the blades won't be able to go around. So you have chocolate blades. I won't give it a chance. All right. Yeah. Well, I'll keep on dipping these. We'll let you keep. Chocolates. You can keep dipping. Thank you so much. Okay. We will jump over to, what time is it? I reckon we'll go see Beck and then we'll see Jamie. Alrighty.
Okay, everything. All right, so we're going to make a start on the butter chicken, lemon butter chicken. Basically what I've got is I've got a pan over here. You might see me run back and forth quickly. Just going to make sure that doesn't burn. Just going to put it down. Effectively, while you're doing this, it makes sense to sear your chicken. So in the recipe, it asks you to prep the sauce that you're going to pour over the top like a tray bake. So I'm going to go back and forth between that. Basically, you grab your chicken and you coat it, you put a bit of salt and pepper on it and coat it in paprika. You can, again, do that ahead of time and then pop them. I did it earlier today, popped it back in the fridge until I had time to cook them. So you don't even really have to sear them. I like searing them because it makes them a little bit more juicy. But a lot of friends have said that they've done this without searing the chicken and it's been fine. So you can be lazy and not sear it. That's fine. You can throw it straight in. But yeah, so behind me, I've got the oven on and I'm searing the chicken. But we're just going to start the sauce. The original recipe for this never told me to do the Parmesan. And I think every time I forgot to grate the Parmesan. So I love that when I went on Cookie Do, they actually built it into the recipe, which is awesome. So we're just going to do our Parmesan, which hopefully the noise cuts out really quick because it's pretty noisy.
Super powerful blades there, chopping up our Parmesan. And I've just popped in Lala's lemon butter chicken into the chat box there. Love to hear if anyone's made this one. It's absolutely delicious.
Right, so this is this. So it says to use fire. I use breast for this one. It doesn't really matter. You can also use salmon. Salmon's really yummy as well. So this is telling me the instructions of seasoning and doing the breast. Now we do have to get the parmesan back out of the bowl because it's something that you add back in a little bit later. You don't want it now, so I'm just going to tip it into another bowl. Give it a quick little bang. Right. So you don't need to wash it, you can just keep going. So we've got 3 cloves of garlic. Where did I put my garlic? Just got our 3 garlic. We're going to give them a chop. Oh, I love that you can have a look at what's coming next. So you can, I like to line things up. Make sure I'm not wasting any time. So that says, give him a quick scrape. It's not too bad. All right, so scrape. Now we're going to add some butter. It says unsalted, but I use salted butter for everything because I like things salty. Make your choice. So pretty much what we're going to do is just melt the butter into the garlic. I'm just going to quickly, while that's doing that, I'm just going to throw my chicken in the pan.
So this is a real quick and easy sort of sauce that Beck's making in the Thermomix while she is searing off that chicken a little bit. If anyone's got the Fira range, I should grab mine out. We sell it in the mix shop now, and you can actually cook your chicken in that and then add the sauce that Beck's making in the Thermomix, add the sauce to it and bake it all in the oven. So you don't have extra pots to clean.
That would be awesome. Saves on dishes. I love saving dishes. This just make me sad. Cool. So pretty much that's pretty simple. Just add some cream. I will admit both of the recipes that I'm doing tonight have quite a bit of cream. There are other sides that you can add with this that are really nice. Some people add risotto into the sauce, so it's a little bit pastry. We used to do it with rice, like white rice or brown basmati or something underneath there. My kids don't like the sauce touching the rice, so we've always done it separately, but you can add it to the sauce and soak it in. What I tend to do, as you'll see in a minute, is I put veggies in with the sauce and they cook in with the rest of it. So it's literally one dish that goes into the oven, so you don't have to mess around. I have my lemon. Sorry, it's the one thing I left on the other side. So I've just got some fresh lemon juice. Said 1 lemon. This was actually 3 lemons to get your 40 grams. I like it really lemony. This is one of those ones that you really have to play with and decide like how much stock you want in it, how much butter, things like that. And it's got thyme. You can use dry, but you can also use fresh. Fresh thyme is really nice too. And chicken stock. I always have these little containers, so I just use the whole thing. That's about a tablespoon. So I probably add a little bit more than the recipe says. Or I guess you just watch out how much salt you're putting in there, because it might become a little bit too salty. And then you add water. You get water everywhere if you're filming. Sorry. That was about half. Add back in your parmesan. And without the measuring cup, so it does cook it for 18 minutes. I find that you don't really need to. It's just going to cook down. So I usually cook it for a little bit, but I usually don't do the whole cook time. Then once you're done with that, we put in some spinach. So I'm going to cook it for a little while, and I guess it's probably just come back to me a little bit later, and we'll continue.
Sounds good. Thank you. And I love that there's all that. There's stock and there's parmesan and there's lemon. It's just a really flavoursome sauce that you're making there. Thanks, Beck. And we're going to jump over to you, Jamie. We'll see if we can get yours into the oven, and we'll do my salad at the end, I reckon. Thanks, Jamie.
Hi. No, I've done quite a bit while we're going, but I've kept enough to show you the steps without you sitting there watching all the boring bits. So basically I heated up the oven or preheat the oven. Then I've got my ramekins ready. These had a bit of butter around the sides and at the bottom, just some melted butter pasted on. And then I have some cacao sprinkled in. I'm not sure if you can see that in the bottom of each one. So to prepare this, and so you can see the whole thing while I'm doing it, I have blitzed some chocolates and added butter and sugar, and then that has melted down. And then I have cooked it in with some eggs, flour and vanilla. And that looks like this. And then you 3/4 fill your ramekins. Just like that. Oops.
It looks a lot like Karen's melted chocolate, doesn't it?
It does. It's actually very runny. The first time I made them, I was a little bit concerned. It tastes good.
Yeah, yum.
If you wanted to prepare these ahead of time, it actually asks you in the recipe to put them in the fridge for 20 minutes. So you could do all of that, put it in the fridge before your guests arrive. And then when they come, take them out and pop them into the oven.
Perfect. I love the prep ahead aspect of your dish as well, Jamie.
So
Have
like
you?
some that are in
Ooh,
the oven, they did rise a little bit more than that, and then they shrink down slightly as they cool.
beautiful.
So
Have you tried, Jamie, have you tried making them before without doing that fridge step? Is tonight's, yeah, you have. I wasn't game. I wasn't sure if you'd still get the lava effect, if it wasn't cold, but
I'm hoping that I'll still get it tonight because they've just started to cool.
yeah, and it really depends on our ovens, doesn't it? And how people will get used to how long your oven needs to create lava, or you might not want as much lava anyway. So sometimes we can play around with it, can't we?
That's right. And my oven tends to run a little bit hot. So if it says 200, I'll cook it at about 180.
Yeah.
250 if I'm doing, or 220 if I'm doing something a much higher heat. I'll do it slightly over, but never the full temperature. Otherwise, I'll end up being roasted.
Yeah.
So I've done that, and I have baked them in the oven, and they only had to bake for 12 minutes, and they were spot on at that 12 minutes. And then it asks you to take them out and let them rest, which I've done, just for a few minutes. And then I'm going to whip some cream. So I'll need my butterfly whisk. Nuts in there, and I will need some cream. I have done some ahead of time in case it doesn't work performing when everyone's watching. Sometimes it doesn't go to plan.
In case you make butter instead of cream. Has anyone done that before? The cream has turned into butter on you?
I haven't, but I'm hoping tonight's not going to be my first.
I'm sure it won't.
So this is 150 or slightly over. Now put lid on. And it's just 45 seconds at speed 4.
Ooh, be careful with that.
Keep an eye on
speed. Yeah, sometimes it could turn at 20 seconds, so just keep an eye on your cream, ladies and gentlemen. 20 seconds is sometimes enough at speed 4. I've started doing speed 3.5 if I want a soft whip rather than a firm whip. Sorry,
let's stop at 3.
So you're doing speed 3 now, are you, Jamie?
I just did it up to 3.5, and I think it's just about good to go. Yep. So
Awesome. Yeah, I used to always do speed 4, and then I kind of, and it was great because it was so quick, but it was too hard to catch it before it turns to butter.
oh, and there's no coming back. So yeah, I'll just stop. Now it's asked me to remove my butterfly whisk, and I can serve it up. So this is my cream.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, so good.
It whipped up quite good. So you can whip your cream and put it in the fridge. So that was done just before 7. And it's good. So you can do when your guests arrive or when they're here.
Oh,
now, if I was really keen, I could have put that in a piping bag and made it look really nice.
Oh, that's a great tip too, which we could do if we wanted to be super fancy. So we're thinking of doing a few more date nights themes, or so because a lot of people are asking to save money and wanting to stay home a bit more because the cost of going out is getting more and more expensive. So we're going to come up with a few more different menu ideas. If you'd like to join our future classes. Oh, have you got berries on there too?
I have got berries, and it is a lava, but it's not quite running.
Oh, it looks absolutely delicious. I can taste it now. I'm going to have to make some. Thank you so much, Jamie. Has anyone else on the call made those before, chocolate lava cakes? No, I haven't got any nods. Oh, Jen has. Do you like them, Jen?
They're awesome. Yeah, they're really good.
Oh, I can taste them now in my mouth. I've lent a mold out to a customer, and it's the one that I use for the chocolate lava cakes religiously. It's from the mix shop, and it's a silicone one with a metal rim, and it's the best shape. And I'm going to get that back so I can make some more of those lava cakes. Thank you so much, Jamie.
No worries. Thank you.
Enjoy those.
Okay.
Does your husband like those chocolate lava cakes?
He does. I think I have a few children that would like to taste one as well.
Oh, all right. I'll let you go do that, and we'll come over and see a salad unless Beck wants me to go to her first. Yeah? Me first? Okay. We can use sign language. Just a sec. We'll place over to me. Thank you, Jamie. And I'm going to make a quick salad, and I will be using the cutter. I thought, well, let's have a look and see what salads I haven't tried yet, and I haven't tried this one out yet, so I thought something nice and fresh and easy to go with our pretty decadent rest of the menu. So yeah, there was a fair bit of cream in the menu, Beck. I didn't notice that. We all just sort of came together and said, what do you like to eat on date night? And we all kind of just came up with some recipes. So, but yeah, lots of cream. So let's balance it out with a bit of cucumber. So this is called a Thai cucumber salad. It's super simple, and these are the ingredients. Let's have a look what it looks like. So I'm going to show you a close-up because we haven't seen that just yet. We haven't seen a close-up of the Thermomix. For those people that haven't got a Thermomix and that you might be watching live now, you might be watching the playback, we'll give you a close-up. Just 1 second. There we go. Thank you. Love to hear if that is anyone live that hasn't seen the Thermomix before. We can use it manually. So when we want to put in a specific time, we want to melt the chocolate for a few minutes, we can press a temperature. So if you're doing raw chocolates, it will be about 37, 40, or if you're melting other chocolate, I just need to double check that, but I melt it around 60, or I think some people do a bit higher as well. And then say you want to set it going, you just turn this dial and select how fast you want it to go, depending on what you're trying to do. So we can use it manually, or we can use one of our modes. There's lots of them, and we can, if you'd like to learn more about our smart modes that run with different functions programmed into them, then let your consultant know, reach out, and we can teach you more about that. And what I want to show you is Cookie Do, our guided recipes. We have Cookie Do on our Thermomix screen, which is amazing. And I'm going to press the menu and look at the week. So I have popped today's menu in, and it's a little bit dark, I think, sorry. But we've got our menu in here. So I'm just going to tap on my recipe. So I'd love to hear if other people like to plan and put recipes in and have a plan, because this seriously saves time with your shopping list and your planning there. The recipes come up, so your ingredients on the left-hand side and the prep steps on the right-hand side, they all come up. It's exactly like a cookbook with all the info in there. I'm just going to press start cooking, and then it tells me exactly what to do. So our built-in scales come up. We've got 0 or -1 grams now, and it's asking me to just get my onion ready, which I have done, because we're going to actually chop the onion in the cutter, and we're going to chop our cucumber in the cutter as well. So I'm going to change over to a different screen now so you can see what we're doing. I'll leave that there because I think you can kind of see the screen from there. It might be a bit brighter. Yeah, can't see the screen on that one. It's a bit bright from there, but we can from my other view. So if you want to have a look at different views, you can. Alrighty, so now it's saying to put the cutter on. Now you saw Beck with the cutter, and I'm going to remember to put the shaft in first. So that just goes on top of the blade like the butterfly, like what Beck mentioned. And we are going to then pop the bowl in. Everything you chopped is going to go in there. So that the bowl, your Thermomix bowl, will stay clean and dry, which is awesome. It's independent. And then we want to do some slicing. So I'm just going to put the slicing side up, and you'll learn which side is which when you get your cutter. And then it's asking me to pop our onion in. So, oops, I just lost some of my onion. This is the red onion, and I've just chopped it in half. And I'm going to see, make sure it fits in. That one's going to fit in. Just, they did fit in when I tried it just before the class. Seriously. How random. They're not fitting in anymore. Did they grow? Anyway, so I'm going to have to put it on the other side instead, but that's okay. You can decide how you want it to slice depending on how you put it in. All right, so that's in, and then we are just going to set that going. So the recipe has got thin already selected. So I'm literally going to turn the dial to thin, and we'll chop our onion, chop that down. And you can repeat if there was more onion, and then we're going to pop the cucumber in as well. So I've literally got 2 long cucumbers. I've just chopped them in half, and we'll put them in separately. So gone are the days that you have to chop things, to fit in the Thermomix to cut nicely. You can actually put the longer things in as well, and that's about the length I would put my cheese in as well for grated cheese. So imagine that, grated cheese, just like, the supermarket as well. Now, here's our finely sliced onion. as well. For our salad, we want it nice and fine. Just going to make sure there's none of that red onion stuck. So a little bit of this did get stuck there at the beginning. I could feel it wasn't going down as much. Just put that in there. So really, I am actually still learning exactly what way to put the onions in to try and avoid that. So I'd love some tips if the other ladies know. All right, so let's put the cucumbers in. We're just going to pop them in first and then we'll set it going. And we're going to cut those nice and thick. Alrighty, so our cucumber is all done, and that's the work of the cutter done for this particular recipe. So if you're wondering what the cucumbers will look like, and there's nothing in there, it's chopped it beautifully. The other side would do grating. So grated carrots is great for like some Thai salads as well. This particular one we're having sliced, this is feeling pretty heavy. There's our cucumber. So imagine how much time you could save with the Thermomix. Not only all the other functions we've done, but now with our new attachment as well. They're all uniform in size, and I'm going to tip them all there. That was like a lot of cucumbers. Hopefully you guys like cucumbers. So I'll scrape that out a little bit better first, but it's really quick and easy. Remember to take that shaft out. You don't want to chop that up. And then we can continue with the recipe. So now we're just going to make a quick and easy dressing. So this is a nice, easy one you can do with your date together, because it's not really that hard. We don't have to prep this one ahead. Alrighty, so let's pop the peanuts in, our roasted ones. And I'm just going to give them a quick chop. So they're whole roasted peanuts, and it's going to blitz them for 2 seconds. And they're going to get set aside, and that's so you can sprinkle them on your salad. Oops, somebody's coming in. There we go. You can sprinkle them on your salad later, and that smells delicious. That's the texture of our crushed peanuts. They look great. So I'm going to pop them back in the bowl, and yeah, so that's going to sprinkle on top of the salad in a moment. So we will keep going with the dressing. And what we need is our garlic cloves. So for any of you guys who haven't seen the Thermomix in action, who loves chopping garlic and onion by hand? If not, we definitely need Thermomix to help, no longer garlic hands or onion crying from onions. So we did slice our onions here, but normally we just chop them in the Thermomix with the blades, and yeah, it comes up beautifully. You can decide whether to chop them, pulverize them if the kids don't want to see them, or the hubby doesn't want to see them on date night, or you can choose to leave them bigger and chunky if you're doing it for a casserole or something. So you're in charge. The Thermomix is not going to decimate everything. You decide how fast those blades go and for how long. So it might take a little practice at the beginning, and reach out to your consultant if you haven't mastered it. But yeah, Thermomix does not just blitz everything. You can leave it chunky as well. But in this case, we want garlic to be nice and pulverized. Where's a spatula? I'm hiding. Here we go. Hiding. And I just scrape it down a little bit, I suppose. There we go. And some lime. So every good Asian salad has lime in it, doesn't it? So we've got our scales, and just going to pop that in. I don't know how much. Oh, we've got 60. We'll put it all in. only wanted 40, but we had 60 squeezed. So the more the merrier. Lime juice, right? And fish sauce. There we go. If you're vegetarian, I'm sorry, not sure of a difference for that one. I'd love to hear if anyone's got a solution for if you don't want the fish sauce. Bit of sugar. So often we have a little bit of sweetener in dressings of any kind. So asking for grapeseed oil. I'm just going to pop in avocado oil because I reckon that's going to give us some nice omegas and things. Actually, Beck is a nutritionist. If you need to have a consult, Beck in our team, who's just presented, she's a nutritionist, and she'll be able to sort you out if you need some help with your family nutrition. And the chili. So let's put the chili in. I did just hand chop the chilies just before the class. Only thing I had to chop. And a bit of salt. Here's half a teaspoon. I'm just going to put a pinch of sea salt. I don't want too much in my salad. And alrighty. And mix that all together. So that's the dressing. Just going to mix it all for 30 seconds. We'll jump over and we'll go see Beck, who has probably put the chicken in the oven. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Unmute. Sorry, my dog is now my little helper. Go away. Okay, so we have our potato bake. As I said, all I do is give it a quick mix to make sure it's all combined. I usually cook them both at the same time. This will take like half an hour to cook on its own. So if you pop it in the oven too early, it doesn't really matter if you've already cooked it because it will just reheat it. Potato doesn't tend to really overcook. But there's no need to pre-cook it if you're going to cook it again anyway. You've got the half hour while you're cooking the other. The other does need to go in for at least half hour and then check it to make sure your chicken is cooked. So this is the other one. So while I've been waiting, I got out my seared chicken and popped it across. And then I just fill up the rest of the cooking tray with just veggies that I know will cook really nicely in the sauce. So in this one, I've used broccolini and asparagus and zucchini and some cherry tomatoes. We have used sun-dried tomatoes as well, and they're really, really yummy. And all I did was I did about half the cooking time just to cook it down a little bit and to wilt the spinach because you don't want the spinach to be sticking out. But basically all you do is just pour it over the top. You wind up with all the spinach on the top and it kind of becomes a little bit crunchy. It's really nice. So just pour that in. If you're doing a bigger tray, the good thing about this recipe is you can do as much as you want. So if you're cooking for more than like a date night, this is our entire family. This is about 5 chicken breasts. I usually cook the entire pack of chicken. If you're having a large crowd over for dinner, probably not for date night, but if you're having a lot of people over, you can cook quite a lot in a bigger pan. And you can either double this recipe or sometimes we just 1.5 it just to make that little bit of extra sauce. Because it is really, really saucy and it does go a really long way. As I said, if you're popping something in the bottom like your rice and you want to cook your rice or risotto or something in the bottom, you need a lot of sauce to soak it up because obviously it kind of evaporates into the rice and it winds up a lot more dry, whereas this it'll still be quite saucy at the end. And it's got a really nice kind of chicken broth kind of lemony flavour. And as I said, you can play around with the lemon flavour. Some people like it really lemony and other people don't really like it so much. You can play around with the amount of butter that you pop in there. Maybe put a little bit more olive oil in there if you don't like the kind of strong buttery taste. So that's pretty much it. So I'll just hold it up. Can't really tip it because it'll keep the sauce down the sides.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, I like the bits that come out of the sauce because they become kind of crispy in the oven. They're not like the rest of it is very wet. It's nice having that kind of crispy top layer.
Oh, I agree. It's one of my. It's definitely in my top 5. I reckon that dish. Thank you so much for sharing your top tips on that one. And I agree, the sauce is delicious as well. We love serving it with silky sweet potato mash. Yeah. So lots of combos for that one and great prep ahead. Thank you so much, Beck, for cooking that. Now you've got your date night meal ready.
No cooking tomorrow.
Yay. Now, Karen, would you like to show us what you're up to? You're ready? And then I'll just put the dressing on my salad and mix it around.
Okay, so what I've done, so these are the ones that I've just taken out of the fridge, and I've just added some chocolates in there as well. So I've done strawberries and raspberries.
Wow.
One.
Oh, it looks pretty on the Love Heart plate too, Karen.
It does. And then we did a few pretzels, and I thought I'd try out the marshmallows.
Oh, yes, I can see some marshmallows. Could you hold up one pretzel up close to the camera, please, Karen?
Hopefully the chocolate doesn't drip off.
Oh, yeah, they haven't dried. Okay.
I haven't dried
Pretty.
quite yet, so I've done that.
Nice. Oh, your workmates are going to love you tomorrow, aren't
I
they?
sure will, that's for sure.
What are those ones? They're pretzels?
So they're pretzels
Yeah.
as well, just dripping.
Nice. Yep.
And then I thought I'd try banana as well. So I had while I was.
Wow. And you could chill the banana first, couldn't you? And it would dry quicker.
Work better, actually.
Oh, they look absolutely delicious. Your workmates are so lucky.
I'll be very popular tomorrow. So some of them I did white chocolate over the top, and some I put almonds over the top as well.
Oh, I was wondering if you would drizzle white chocolate as well. Yes. Well, that is absolutely beautiful. Thank you for making those, and enjoy those.
Yes. And then hot chocolate is made. So I've got two hot chocolates.
Yum. Enjoy. Oh, and marshmallows.
Yeah, I'll put those on the top as well.
A beautiful idea for a date night.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen. I'm having technical difficulties. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we have the salad, which was just the carrots and the onions, which you saw chopped super quick. And there's the dressing, which has got all that beautiful lime, the garlic, which was chopped really easily, and then the chili I chopped by hand. And I'm going to pop the roasted nuts on. There we go. And some coriander as well. So you could put coriander on if you like, and I'm sure you could put whatever herbs you want to, but that is looking really nice and fresh, and that will be nice to go with the other decadent things we've got in tonight's menu. And I'm going to enjoy eating that now and see what it tastes like. It had some good ratings, and Karen tried it out for us and said it was yummy. Thank you everyone for presenting tonight, and thank you everyone for joining tonight. Now, if you have some questions, please go to the consultant that has invited you. It's probably someone from our team. And if you'd like to see more, be in contact, make contact, because we can show you more virtually, answer any of your questions, and see what else you would like to see if ATM6 is something that you would like to have fun with in your kitchen. We'd love to help make that happen. We have 24 months interest free. We have an earn program where you can earn your Thermomix, which is how myself and a number of other team members got their Thermomix into their kitchen. We have a really great promo with that this month where you can earn yourself a cutter, as well as other things. So if you would like to find out more about joining our team, and building a business, or just earning a Thermomix, either is fine. Let us know, because we'd love to share that info with you and see what you might create in one of our future classes. So we have good fun learning new things, and one of the new things we're learning later this month is gluten-free pastry. So if you live in Adelaide, we're doing a class on a Tuesday night at Walkerville, 7:30 p.m. And that one, we're going to be exploring gluten-free puff pastry and gluten-free other pastries as well, so that you can save money on your gluten-free cooking, because that's super expensive as well. So we're all about saving money with our Thermomix investment, and having fun in the kitchen, really, is what we basically do, isn't it, ladies? So if you want to have more fun in your kitchen, and you're not right now, sing out, because we'd love to share our favorite recipes with you. Or if the reason you're not having fun is because you don't have a Thermomix, then we can help you with that as well. Have I said everything? Has anyone else got anything to share before we close off? We've gone over time, sorry.
Here's a potato bake that I made, Jess.
Ooh, yes.
A little bit
Oh,
early.
delicious. That's not for tonight, though? You're not going to eat that tonight? Okay.
So that's for tomorrow night.
And did you use the cutter to slice the sweet potato?
Yeah, it's my cutter.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yum.
Enjoy that. And did you just make a bechamel to go on top?
Yeah, it was the cream, and then top it with cheese.
Oh, great.
And a little thing of garlic. And that was it. It's so quick and easy.
Sorry, I thought I replaced Spotlight, but it's still on me. Sorry, there we go.
There we go.
Nice.
And
It
I
colours
put
your next.
sweet potato as well as potato in there. So a layer of sweet potato on the top. Just for something.
Delicious. Yes, delicious. Enjoy that.
I will.
Thank you, Karen. And thank you. Goodbye to Jamie. Thank you so much. Enjoy those.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. And thank you to Beck. Thanks, ladies, for presenting. And thank you, everyone, for joining. We will see you at our next class. Thanks, Jen, for coming, and Kay, Kelly, Joy, Suzanne, Amy, and Beck Browning. We'll be in touch soon, and hope you liked this session. I'll stop recording.